Sony is in contempt to learning the lesson that was Concord in 2024 by taking that multi-$100 million L on the chin. They're deciding to double down on live service games because eventually if one hits, that's their big old cash cow that's out there. But if they continue to waste that much money instead of just giving it and distributing it out to more worthwhile projects, you kind of deserve the losses that are incoming. Sony Interactive CEO says company plans to grow our live service segment despite Concord's failure, which those who do not learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. And well, Sony, congratulations. Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Herman Hulst, who, took Concord's massive loss very personally because he was a big proponent of Firewalk Studios and doubling down on all of this live service and nonsense. And it's really not what people want. There's another live service shooter that's out there. Oh my god, I forget. It looks like a cross between Watch Dogs and Antifa. It just looks completely and totally ass, and I'd imagine that's probably coming out this year. And that's another first-party Sony title, but you guys had a hit. You had a hit in Helldivers 2, and you squandered it. You got greedy, and you blew it. Going back to what CEO Herman Hulst had doubled down on the company's goal to grow its live service segment despite the failure of a number of live service games this year, including Sony's own Concord and Warner Brothers' Multiverses. I forget what that one was, and Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Oh yeah. In an interview with Japanese website Famitsu, Hulst was asked, how do you evaluate the recent achievement of PlayStation Studios and its current structure? As part of his answer, Hulst stated, we also continue to grow our live service segment, and Helldivers 2 has been a great success. Well, not recently, but alright. In building a strong portfolio, the studio business group focuses on a rigorous selection of games that offer players a great experience. We are focused on expanding our IPs in new areas, such as a film version of Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, because that's what people want. They want all of these sterling filmic adaptations of video games. You had one success with the Super Mario Brothers movie, but when it comes to video game adaptations, they've all kind of been ass. How many people right now have a good association with the Fallout Amazon show from early 2024? How many people still think that Arcane Season 2 is an excellent adaptation of League of Legends lore? Yeah. For as bad as 2024 was for superhero films, I would argue it was even worse for video game adaptations because they were getting a little bit of traction, especially with the Super Mario Brothers movie in 2023, but there was no such hits, unlike The Penguin was for superhero films in 2024, even though that was a TV show, but you get where I'm going with this one. There were no video game success stories. Like, the Secret Level came and went, had that weird Pac-Man episode, but hey, it also had a Concord episode as well, months after the game got turned off. But yeah, no, you continue to do stupid film adaptations because Sony, at the end of the day, that's what you do with all of your games now, right? Like, there's the trope. You got the Snowy games that are out there, the third-person action-adventure movie games. So why not just cut the game out of the games? But yes, it's being produced by PlayStation Productions. And what success stories do they have? Hulst was then asked to follow up specifically about Concord and Firewalk Studios, which, has been closed and only cost the company how many hundreds of millions of dollars? Can you go ahead and clarify that there, Herman? And whether its failure affected its live service and mobile game strategies. On the other hand, Concord was discontinued in about 2 weeks. Well, yeah, it was 2 weeks. And the closure of 2 studios. Neon Koi, which is a studio that produced absolutely nothing in the time that it was open, and a non-significant amount of time, by the way, in Firewalk Studios was announced. As the corona disaster settles down, are you still trying to trot that out as an excuse? What are we doing? I assume that the game business is undergoing rapid changes. Are there any changes in your strategy for live service games and mobile games as a result of these studio closures? Hulst responded, the game business is constantly changing due to a variety of factors, including technological advances, new genres, and new ways of playing games. Yeah, most of it's shifting away from your plastic brick consoles. If anybody wants to play a game at home, it's normally going to be on PC, as the console market, well, it's kind of co-signed itself to its own fate, with lackadaisical entries for the better part of a decade and very little competition. Microsoft debuting the Xbox One in 2013 really did. You could just go ahead and point to that as the flashpoint for the death of the console market. Right there. That one instance. They never recovered from it, and Sony got too hubristic with the success of the PlayStation 4 that led into the malaise that we have had for the PlayStation 5. He continued, but with that comes competition, and like many companies in the industry, we have had to make changes to our business in order to solidify a more sustainable operating base. Yeah, by trying to launch your games on PC, which is good. It's laudable. Exclusivity is big boo. When you try to force your stupid PSN account so that you can go ahead and dictate the player base on a different platform, people aren't exactly all that hip to that, and that's why you end up stifling releases for God of War Ragnarok and causing all of the fuss that you did with the previously mentioned Helldivers 2. We are learning a lot as we build our ability to develop quality live service titles within SIEs. Helldivers 2 has proven the potential of live service titles by attracting a large number of players through continuous content delivery. I mean, you just need to take a look at the Steam numbers and realize that that's just clearly not the case. Furthermore, Hulst noted that Sony and PlayStation will continue to release live service games across multiple platforms rather than making them exclusive. Yeah, okay, so they're learning a little bit just the wrong lesson that people don't really want live service games. They like the ones that they have right now, like Fortnite and Warzone, but Overwatch filled the gap that Concord couldn't break into, and that was never really that big of a niche to begin with. So is there room for competitors? I suppose so, because Marvel Rivals just snuck right in there and blew the space wide open. It's just, is Sony capable of producing something of that quality? Hulst stated, since live service titles are released on multiple platforms, the key to success is how to attract new players and increase the number of players. Therefore, maintaining momentum at the time of release and broad player adoption are especially important in the live service sector. Single-player games are a key component of the PlayStation platform's appeal, and each title has a strategic sales period. While consoles remain our core business, expanding to PC and other platforms will allow us to bring our games to a wider audience. I like that sentiment. It's just, I don't really like in general what you guys have on offer. Our priority is always to provide the best possible experience for our players, and as part of that, we are promoting the integration of PSN accounts on PC. Yeah, how does that help anything except for add additional rules and regulations over the top? Gives you a backdoor to regulate PC play. Helldivers 2 was extraordinarily successful, yes, for Arrowhead Game Studios in the first part of 2024. The game was listed in Steam's Platinum Bucket for the top sellers in 2024, but you take a look at Steam charts and bro, it fell completely and totally off a cliff. It was a game upon release that was breaking down servers. 458,000 peak players. And prior to the little artificial bump there at the tail end of December with the Steam sale, the game was on death's door because Sony can't get out of their own way. When you open up to what they want to call a broad mainstream appeal, they want to appeal to as many people as possible. These are the type of people they tend to attract. Give us our voices back. Female players expose misogynistic behaviors in Helldivers 2. This is the type of stuff that they want to cater to, and then through the integration of the PSN accounts, want to destroy in the online setting, okay? The same type of stuff that Riot is doing by banning off-platform behavior that could be considered to be toxic. Ubisoft, you cannot type in Rainbow Six Siege chat, you cannot type the Spanish term for black without catching a multiple hour ban. And through the integration of the PSN accounts, you end up getting you end up getting held to the standards of the Sony PlayStation terms of service wherever you're playing one of their games. Because they want to appeal to the broadest audience possible, they're appealing to the broads that want to sanitize all of your spaces. Because what was the fun of Helldivers 2 when it first launched? They were out there and they were defending democracy for Super Earth. They were crushing, the commie scum bugs and having a fun old time in squads of 4 of just guys knocking it back and playing games like the good old days. But no, now you got these, I hazard to call them gamers, saying, oh, we need to have our voices back. Female players. It's like, if you're experiencing any type of harassment, which I'm already pressing X to doubt on, why don't you just mute them? And why don't you just get into a different lobby? The internet can be a wonderful place nowadays. None of us could imagine living without it. It's a source of information. It keeps us connected. And what does games have to do with this? However, given that anyone can have access to it, and given that you'll meet some bad eggs occasionally, this means that we should sanitize all of it just in case case somebody's fifis might get hurt. Players support each other and generally don't stand for this type of bad behavior. Still, there will always be individuals who crave conflict and chaos. Many female Helldivers had bad experiences in real life. Women on the internet get a lot of uncalled for attention, especially in gaming communities. It's 2024, and still some people are astounded by the existence of female gamers. Yeah, we're just astounded that you can continue to complain about the same stuff over and over again. Going in and subverting spaces and then just killing any sort of momentum that a game has, because everything just has to turn into gray jumpsuit having super sanitized communications. Oh yes, hello player number 1, I am player number 3. It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. I look forward to neutralizing the enemies with you in this next upcoming map. I hope you have a wonderful day. It's not how people want to play their games. The people that hop into these open lobbies like that want to talk trash, want to have a good time. A lot of people's best experiences online are forged in the crucible of competition online. But no. We need to go ahead and make this more inclusive, and we need to have a sense of joy when we're playing online. She continued, it often starts with something as simple as an accent. Oh, as simple as my accent or the fact that I'm a woman, and quickly escalates into things that are completely over the line. Can you point to one specific example? Saying I have a boyfriend isn't just me being coy or flirty. It's a clear attempt to shut the behavior down. Exactly. Why can't everybody just adhere to my standards? Why can't the misogynistic behaviors stop? I just want to play a game and force everybody to adhere to my values and rules in this otherwise democratic system. But these are the type of players that Herman, Hulst, and PlayStation Studios want to cater to. They don't want to actually cater to the people that play the games online, the people that make the game successful to begin with. No. They want the fringe ideologues to feel safe in their safe spaces. They want to cater to the, stop me if you've heard this before, modern audience. And we see what the modern audience looks like. They look something approximating the lowest number on that list. They have never been numerous to shepherd any IP we have ever seen since these companies started to kowtow to them. How did it work out for Star Wars and the Acolyte? Oh right, cancelled. How well did other games launch in 2024? Dustborn, Star Wars Outlaws, big successes, right? Exactly. The modern audience is a disaster, and these companies trying to force their sensibilities on everybody else is going to backfire. As much as I loved my Sony consoles back in the cut, there's one reason that I have a PS5, and that is very quickly getting outsourced to the PC, so I will never be turning it back on again, and I can tell you, I will not miss it one single bit. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.